Let's just dive right in, shall we? Welcome to our explainer on what might honestly be the ultimate cosmic cold case. We're looking at a mystery that has completely baffled humanity for thousands of years. I mean, across ancient temples, sweeping mosques, towering churches, and quiet meditation centers all around the globe, people have been searching. Yet the central figure of this search remains entirely unseen. So today, we're exploring a deeply profound question. If there is a creator, why does that ultimate reality remain totally hidden from our view?
It's a question that naturally pops into your head when you look up at the night sky, right? We really have to ask ourselves, is this some intentional cosmic test? Is the architect of the universe playing this grand game of hide and seek just to see how we respond? Or, and think about this for a second, is the creator not hiding at all? Is it possible that the limitations of our own human consciousness and biology are simply blinding us to a truth that's sitting right in front of us? To figure this out, we need to look at part one, limits of human perception. Let's establish the baseline of our physical reality. Now, the sheer scale of what we are missing is actually staggering. Our human eyes can only see a microscopic 0.003% of the electromagnetic spectrum. Seriously, 0.003%. That means the reality we experience every single day is just this tiny fractional slice of what's actually out there. Wavelengths like ultraviolet and infrared are pulsing all around us constantly, yet they're completely invisible to our naked eyes. We are essentially walking through a rich, vibrant world wearing a massive blindfold. And it gets even wilder when we zoom out and look at the cosmos. Modern physics tells us that a mind blowing 95% of the entire universe is made up of dark matter and dark energy. We can't see it, we can't touch it, and it doesn't interact with light in any way our current instruments can easily decode. We literally only know it's there because of its gravitational pull. So, the absolutely crucial point here is this. If we are biologically and technologically blind to the vast majority of our own universe, well, the ancient spiritual traditions might actually be onto something. When they suggest that a higher power or ultimate truth is simply hidden behind a physical veil, they're describing a universe that perfectly aligns with what modern physics is telling us right now. We just don't have the hardware to see the whole picture. Which brings us nicely to part two, evidence of invisible forces and learning to see the unseen. Think about the invisible forces that govern our everyday lives. You've never actually seen the wind, right? But you absolutely know it exists because you see trees swaying in a storm and you feel your breath filling your lungs. You've never seen gravity, but a falling apple or the Earth orbiting the sun proves it's there for sure. You can't see the literal flow of electricity, but a spinning fan or a lit bulb proves its power. And even something abstract like love. You can't put love in a test tube, but the sacrifices people make and the joy on their faces prove its undeniable reality. Invisible forces are proven exclusively through their effects. So, if a creator exists, perhaps we're meant to find them through their effects, rather than looking for a direct visual appearance. We have to remember that our human senses are highly restricted biological receivers. Our eyes only process light wavelengths strictly between 400 and 700 nanometers. Our ears max out at 20,000 hertz. Anything below that in infrasound or above that in ultrasound is completely undetected by our natural biology. This means an entirely different high frequency reality could literally exist right in front of our faces and we wouldn't even flinch. Why? Because we simply don't have the biological antennas to tune into that station. Okay, let's move to our brain processing, because this is where it gets truly fascinating. Your conscious mind, the part of you that is actively listening to this explainer right now, handles a mere 40 bits of information per second. Meanwhile, your subconscious is absorbing and processing a massive 11 million bits of data per second. I mean, your brain is actively filtering out almost everything around you just so you can function, which, let's be honest, might explain why you can never find your keys. But on a deeper level, what profound realities are being filtered out by that massive processing gap? This brings us to a massive historical intersection. Part 3, the free will paradox. Let's look at the balance of choice versus coercion. For centuries, philosophers have wrestled with something called the divine hiddenness problem. It's a very logical dilemma, honestly. If there is an ultimate power, a creator who is perfectly loving and wants a relationship with humanity, why doesn't that creator just, step out from behind the cosmic curtain and say hello? Why leave all this room for doubt?
Well, the most compelling philosophical answer to this dilemma comes down to free will. Think about it. If an all powerful creator revealed themselves directly in all their blazing cosmic glory, we would likely act out of absolute fear, coercion, or sheer overwhelm. We wouldn't have a choice but to believe. But genuine love and true character, those require choice. It's like if the teacher gave you all the answers during a test, the exam would have no meaning. Our human journey, with all its struggles and seeking, really only has meaning if we are free to choose the path ourselves.
Interestingly, modern neuroscience actually questions the very nature of that free will. Benjamin Libet's famous laboratory studies demonstrated something kind of shocking. Our brain initiates decisions milliseconds before we even consciously choose to make them. The signals fire before we're even aware of the choice. It strongly suggests that our independence and the way our consciousness operates within this reality might be part of an unseen, deeply complex design that we're only just barely beginning to map out.
So, where exactly is this unseen design located? Welcome to Part 4, Science of the Hidden, as we take a little journey into the quantum realm. Quantum physics reveals that space and time completely change their rules at the subatomic level. Things just don't behave logically anymore. Some of the most cutting-edge theories out there suggest that human consciousness itself might be driven by quantum processes occurring inside tiny microscopic structures in our brain cells called microtubules. And when you look at phenomena like quantum entanglement, where subatomic particles can communicate instantly across millions of light years, totally defying the speed of light, you start to realize that the universe is woven together by an invisible, immediate network. It's really no surprise that some of the top scientific minds in human history deeply felt this unseen reality. Albert Einstein famously believed in a hidden, beautiful cosmic order. Niels Bohr, the pioneer of quantum theory, said that when it comes to atoms, language can only be used as poetry. And Werner Heisenberg, he believed that while the first gulp from the glass of natural sciences will turn you into an atheist, at the bottom of the glass, the divine is waiting for you. They quite literally saw the veil through their equations. So if the answers aren't floating out there in the visible universe, where are they? Part 5, Finding the Ultimate Reality and Why We Absolutely Have to Start Looking Inward. Clinical studies using fMRI and EEG scans, along with some brilliant research from the HeartMath Institute, shows something truly remarkable. During deep meditation and focused spiritual practice, specific areas of the brain, like the parietal and temporal lobes, actually light up. But more than that, the heart and the brain enter a unified, coherent state. Scientists describe this as consciousness shifting into a higher dimensional status, essentially tapping into a hidden cosmic rhythm that our normal, frantic, day-to-day waking state completely misses. We literally have to quiet the noise to tune into the signal. And what's so amazing to me is how perfectly this modern scientific data mirrors ancient wisdom. Thousands of years before brain scans even existed, the Bhagavad Gita stated this exact same principle. Krishna says, "I am hidden in everyone's heart." The texts were essentially telling us that the ultimate reality isn't found by looking way up at the sky. It's rooted firmly and intimately within our own biological and spiritual center. We see this repeated across so many traditions. The Buddha echoed the exact same profound realization. He taught that truth is an internal illumination. It's not some external destination you travel to. You don't hike up a mountain to find the ultimate reality. You sit quietly and observe the light hidden inside your own conscious awareness. Look at the mystical traditions of Islam as well. Sufi saints heavily utilize the metaphor of the veil. They describe the Creator as hiding right here, just behind a veil of human perception and ego. The only way to see the ultimate reality is to do the inner work required to lift that veil from within. The barrier isn't physical distance at all. The barrier is our own limited perspective. The 15th century mystic poet Kabir summarized this whole paradigm beautifully. He wrote to remind seekers that no physical building, no temple, no mosque, literally no physical structure we can build with our hands contains the divine. Why? Because what we are frantically looking for is already resting directly beside our own consciousness. We are out there searching the outside world for something that's locked inside our own vault. So the crucial takeaway here is this. To pierce this cosmic veil, we don't need to build bigger, better telescopes. We need to upgrade our own consciousness. The source material suggests that reaching this unseen reality requires cultivating deep inner awareness to overcome our biological sensory limits. But wait, it's not just about sitting quietly in meditation. It's profoundly active. It requires performing good actions, helping others, and deeply connecting with the pure joy that comes from those selfless acts. That joy? That is the frequency of the unseen world.
Which brings us to the end of our journey today, and it leaves us with an incredibly powerful thought to carry forward. If the evidence suggests that the invisible force governing the universe isn't a million light years away, but is actually waiting quietly inside your own mind and heart, how will you choose to connect with it today? What will you do to lift your own veil? Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating topic with me. Keep asking questions, and above all, keep looking inward.